Hello there, Sarah from 17 once again. This is my Bioshock Infinite 1999 mode Scavenger Hunt walkthrough. This is chapter 27, Emporia. So I think this is one of the hardest firefights in the game. And I say this because the enemies you're fighting have got the upgraded versions of the weapons. And the upgraded versions of the weapons kill you very quickly. There's also a guy dug in like an Alabama tick with a volley gun who's an asshole and needs to die quickly. And you can get flanked, so there's a lot of things that are against you in this fight. But my advice, do not loot any of the bags, any of the boxes, any of this stuff. Because during the fight, if you need health, you can backtrack here and you can pick up the stuff. Because I have this thing on Bioshock, and it's counterintuitive. And I'm sure you have it too, because it's just how we're designed to play games these days. I pick everything up. I pick things up I don't even need. I don't even read what I'm picking up. I just bash X. I just, there's a bin, I'm cleaning the bin, I see the icons, I vaguely remember what they are, I want them now. I'm like a baby, I just want, cry, give me the booby. And it's not really useful, because I'm eating life I don't need, and stuff like that. And it's one of those things where it's really difficult to turn it off, so the best thing I can advise is don't pick the shit up. Come back later when you need it, and that should help you much more. A couple of ways you can approach this fight. You can stay at a distance and snipe people like I do with a rifle, because it's kind of how I'm comfortable. You can go closer and use some of the tears. I think one of the tears is like an automated turret or a rocket turret, which is going to be really useful, but I don't use it. Instead, I use a mosquito as a distraction, and I use my guns and my vigors. It's not the best strategy as far as, killing them really quickly, but it works, and it's generally safe for an area that can be very dangerous. And the upgrades have finally got quite nice, so we can get some extra damage on our carbine, which is always good to know, because the gun is terrific. There's me pressing start when I meant to press back. I do it all the time. And I'm going to change my winter shield, because there's no skylines, and I'm going to change that back to the 50% extra ammo. I should also change the bottom two, because the bottom two abilities are both indicative of skyline actions, which don't help me at all during this kind of fight. And that's what you need to get into the habit of doing. Mixing your gear up to suit your situation. And admittedly, some of the other gear that I have is equally as pointless, but there is no real reason to keep on something that is specifically skyline orientated when there are no skylines. Like that, I can't believe I did that. I was stunned when I realised I'd taken that off. That's how silly I am sometimes. I've been neglecting one of the best pieces of gear on the game, which is the shield recharge and decreased delay. Such a good item, and I didn't have it on, which is a mistake, so don't make that mistake, folks. Learn from my errors, and this is the fight anyhow. So immediately there's a mosquito, which you want to activate, and the only real danger here is people flanking you from this route, and the dude with the volley gun, because the volley gun guy has unlimited ammo, and he's got good aim too. These guys, the normal guys, if they hit you, you're going to see an increase in damage, because from this point onwards, standard enemies can kill you in seconds. And I never really had that from any other part of the game, except for from this part onwards. And as you saw just then, the mosquito does not last very long at all. But there's a bunch of tears here. The first one is cover, the second one I believe is maybe a turret. Look at the damage, just really stripping you super quick. There's also some well-placed oil on the floor if you want to use Devil's Kiss and try and set it off to get some environmental kills. But the mosquito's going to keep coming back, and I'm just going to keep taking pot shots, and look at that. I didn't even see who was shooting me then, but I'm nearly dead, so this part is dangerous. And it's dangerous, I think that was a mistake. Can't quite tell. But the Murderer Crows is a great ability. Just take your time, keep crouched, make sure to keep reviving the mosquito. He doesn't do much, but he distracts that guy, and that's the guy who needs to die. Like, you could try a super aggressive strategy here and try and bum rush to get into a position that's super aggressive but you're safe. And I didn't try doing it because this was a one-take thing. I played this. Oh, a water puddle. That means you can use Shock Jockey if you want to, which I might mess around with because the enemies do backtrack over there. But look at that, the crows are working brilliantly. I just didn't capitalise on them. And I'm nearly dead. Just goes to show you die so fast. So fast. And I'm going to run back to those suitcases and try and pick up some food. But in the whole of Emporia, this is the only real fight that I think is really dangerous. And I believe it's only because the increase in damage that you receive. I think it's just, you know, those parameters have been bumped up, and this is your first experience with it. So from this moment onwards, you're expecting it. But before this, you know, I was rarely getting damaged that much, aside from handymen, so I wasn't really that concerned about the little dudes. But from now on, little guys are pretty damn fierce. And there's a section where you have to go and find some tears in Emporia. And I ran back through an area I'd already been through. There was two guys. I ran out into the middle of this plaza, the two guys were there, they both spun round, and I did not have time to react, I died that fast. And I had full life, which just goes to show how damaging these people can be. And him with that is so powerful. And I'm quite surprised here, folks, that I'm not pushing down to that corner as much as I did. Because I went down there, I did Murder of Crows, and it really worked. I just wasted a possession then. That was not good. There's somebody trying to flank me. As long as you've got your shield up, you're alive. That's how I look at it. Your life can be as tiny as it wants. As long as that shield's up, you're safe. You've just got to play it smart. And I do think Emporia is probably the most challenging part of the game, just because it's long. It has a repeated boss fight that's not very fun, that a lot of people are having troubles with. So I'm going to be really happy to get my video out, because I had no issue with Lady Comstock at all. And hopefully the videos will get people through those sections. And it just makes me kind of sad, because this guide is doing really well. You know, all considered. I got the game late. I still don't have it up. I'm super busy at this moment in time, so I can't just sit down and do every commentary in a day so I can get it uploaded super fast like I normally do. Which, you know, sometimes that can feel more like work than fun, which does kind of suck, because I do love doing this. It's just when you're forcing yourself to do it, that's when you really should stop. And I don't, because I try to be as professional as I can. I try to treat it as if it was a job, you know, where you can't just say, I'm bored of this, I have to stop when you work at Tesco or wherever you might work. You've got to continue doing whatever they want you to do, because that's what you're obligated to do. And sometimes when I'm in that mode, it's not the most fun, and I do this for fun and passion, really. So there's a cool part of this guide, the fact that I haven't had to do that, but at the same time, I do think people need this video. They need these videos, and that's not an ego thing, that's just literally fact, because there's been a lot of people asking, you know, you're Seraphim17, what do you do in this part of the game? Which, there's a demand, and I like to meet my demands, and very rarely will you ever say, when is the next video coming, because it's usually already there. But this particular guide and the Gears of War one have both been victims of the Royal Mail. The Royal Mail and a busy schedule around Easter. But this gun here that I've picked up is an upgraded version of the volley gun. It's probably not the smartest weapon to use, because I don't have any upgrades in it yet, and you really want to stick with the weapons that you have upgrades for, like this. This gun is amazing. And I remember in the last vending machine there was a damage upgrade for it, so I'm probably going to purchase that as soon as I can. And this gun, combined with either Shock Jockey or the Bucking Bronco, it's just an absolute massacre tool. It is so good. There's a lockpick. There's the weird detection sometimes on picking up the items. Just can't get it. Can't seem to get it. But later on today I'm going to be recording my Jetstream Sam DLC guide, if I can. That game is hard. It's really fucking hard, especially on Revengeance. And I put a few videos up the other day. One of them was a boss strategy that I needed to put up because that boss is an arsehole. The other ones were just some frivolous things that I'd edited together before I put the boss strategy up. And somebody complained that there didn't need to be so many videos on the same subject. And it was just one of those things where, I don't know why, but it pissed me off. And it pissed me off because of somebody who thinks that, you know, they can control the channel in ways that is completely pointless. You know, the only person who warrants what goes on this channel is me. And I've made hundreds of videos, you know, in the past month. So the fact that I would like to put up a couple of short, silly ones just to share with my subscribers a couple of fail moments is completely my prerogative. You know, the fact that you didn't enjoy it, the 40 seconds of an inconvenient video that I made is just redundant. You know, it's not a fucking hate crime. People just need to chill out. There's no need at all. And the guy even disliked the video. That's how much this person is just not a nice person, you know. This is YouTube. I'm not fucking asking for money from you to watch my content. There's nobody forcing you to watch these videos. There's no need to be a dick on the internet. There's no mandate for that. It's just stupid, man. So stupid. People are stupid. But luckily enough, my subscribers usually are pretty awesome. And, you know, a whole bunch of them are amazing. Some of them I don't really notice because they don't comment that much, but they still help the channel. They still do their thing. And I would be one of those people because I don't comment that often. When I comment, it means something. So, you know. And I usually don't compliment people because compliments are easy. You know, a lot of the times people put up work so good there's nothing you can compliment, which means when I do compliment it, it's pretty fucking special. I generally give my 2 cents or help them improve quality by pointing out things that I think could either need work or could be done differently. And I try to do it in the least douchey way that I possibly can, because there's nothing worse than somebody telling you how to do something you already know how to do. But that's how YouTube is sometimes. It's an interesting place. It can be quite the zoo at times. But people keep asking what's the next project, what's this project, what's that project, and I really need to finish some of the ones I've started. You know, the Darksiders guide, there's only one guide on my channel that's taken as long as that thing, and that is the Portal 2 guide, which I need to finish. Saints Row live playthrough needs to be finished. You know, there's 3 projects unfinished on my channel, and they really bug me because I hate unfinished work. It's not cool, man. It's not cool. The only problem is Darksiders 2 is like licking paint. It is the most boring guide I've ever made. It is the most boring guide I've ever commentated, and I find it difficult. And anything I find difficult in, you know, commentary-wise, I put off doing, and that's the reason it's taking so long. And I'm very sorry to the people that actually like that guide or are enjoying that guide, because it's not a bad one. The commentary is not bad, I don't think. I don't think anything about it is particularly bad. It's just I'm not enjoying it, and I find it hard to do things I don't enjoy. I'm a stubborn person like that. Portal 2 guide is just a victim of circumstance. The videos are about an hour long, and when I was editing that guide and commentating it, I was on my laptop, and it was at the time when my laptop died. So the only reason that that's not up is purely because of technology fucking me, as it usually does. And the Saints Row one is once again the enjoyment factor. Saints Row is a very long game, and when you think about how long it is and how much work you've got to put into that Let's Play of a game that on the second time through I'm enjoying, but it's not my genre of game. I don't really do open world stuff. I don't enjoy it that often. It's hard, and it sounds really silly and really petty, and people probably think, oh, it's just you being a bitch. And I suppose I am being a bitch, but one of the hardest things ever is to play something you don't enjoy, you know. And I'm not saying it's as hard as digging, you know, conflict diamonds with bare hands in Africa when you're 4 years old. That's really hard. But it's still not an easy thing to do, because it sinks a lot of time that could be spent doing things you do enjoy. And when you start dwelling on not enjoying things, that's when it really starts to suck. So it's interesting. But also, I put up a video the other day that had some audio out of sync in it. And I didn't realise because I didn't commentate it. I just edited it together, and I trusted that my PVR was working, and apparently it was having a bad day. So somebody pointed out and said, why are all your videos out of sync? So let me just highlight this little gem of a comment from this completely ignorant wanker. I have made over 2,100 videos. About 0.01% of those have out of sync audio because my HD PVR at this moment is malfunctioning, and it's something I cannot control. It's something that if I see it and I notice it and I catch it, I correct it, hence why you don't see it on every video. But if I don't, which does happen, because believe it or not, I lower the volume so I can't hear the gameplay so well to hear if it is out of sync. But to make a statement so broad and so open to say, why are all my videos out of sync? I ask you, why are you a fucking retard?